signs on the cross. Together they build under stormy skies. With lightning as their map they navigate, sifting through streams that cliffs to locate. Capturing moments pure and unscripted, treasures from the deep perfectly depicted. Once the man left the algorithm spin, searching through streams that not begin. Andres and Alan on this boat that's free, finding the best bits for all to see.
Dude, that one is a banger. I would actually put that one somewhere that people could buy it. Seriously, I think the past several days, I think I've said hoist the main, let the algorithm spin probably 100 times.
It's now part of your vocabulary.
It is. Yes, it is. I love it. I love it.
The song also has like a Irish rock feel, and I like that too.
Irish rock. Yeah, the very beginning where it's like Andre said the helm coding away. That sounds really metal to me. And the first time I heard it, I was like, I don't know. And then it got good, and then it got that hook, and I was like, okay, that's actually
that works
pretty legit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep the eye patch on. Yeah, it's
I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to see which is harder, coding with sunglasses or coding with an eye patch. We could probably assume the eye patch is harder.
Yeah.
Not like you need depth, though. I mean, the 2-eye thing just really is what gives you the depth perception. Your monitor's not moving. Nothing's going to come at you.
True.
Well, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Andres. It's been a week, man. It's been a week.
It's been a good week.
Yes,
sure.
Today is my oldest daughter's birthday. She is turning 6.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I had lunch with her, which was at 10:30 in the morning. It's how early kindergartners have lunch these days.
It's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have to keep this one a little bit shorter than we normally do. We normally go for 2 hours. I need to do about an hour and a half today because I got to go pick her up from school, take her to a trampoline park. Going to go jumping.
That's good. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. This is actually her pirate hat. It's definitely meant for 5-year-old. I don't think it's going to stay on the whole time because I already have a headache from having it on for just the tech check time.
Yeah.
We'll see. I feel like
it's pretty tall. Mine's a little bit tight. I think I can handle it for a little while, but we'll see. It's also meant for children, not for my big head.
Okay. Well, I love it when you say awkward things and then we just move on. So today, let's talk about what we're going to build today. The past several weeks, we've been really focusing on third-party tools and just giving our first impressions. Like last week was Temporal. A few weeks before that, it was Neon Postgres. I actually have my mug from Neon today. I was drinking out of that this morning.
Nice.
Yeah. But today we're going to do a little bit different. We're actually going to do something that's practical instead of just giving our first impressions of something new. But since I value education so much, we're not just going to go and build something. We're going to learn things along the way. And you just discovered when we were doing our tech check that we're going to be using App Runner, which is, I don't think, something you've ever used before. Contrary to me telling you for years that it's a really good service.
Yep.
So
been meaning to try it. It's not something I still can't use it for my day-to-day job because, as you know, we operate in the Gov Cloud, and that's
not in Gov Cloud.
It is not.
No,
I don't believe it's in Gov Cloud. Yeah, no, it's not.
Huh. Okay. Really? Anyway, you can use it for other things, I'm sure. But yeah. So what we're going to do today, we've been doing 2-hour live streams, and I can't realistically expect somebody to sit through one of our 2-hour live streams if they didn't attend it live. I'm impressed that you guys do it anyway when we're actually doing it live. But double, especially when it's not live. I can't even hardly sit through a 2-hour movie. Definitely not going to watch 2 hours of 2 people coding. So what we're going to do is we are going to find the best clips from our live streams. And best could be, really, it should just be educational, but we're going to be using AI to do it. So we could make it the most funny things. We could make it the most piratey things. But ultimate. It's a pirate themed day. Don't give me that look. Uh, uh, ultimately, though, what we're looking for is the best 2 to 3 minutes from across a 2-hour live stream. So we can share those. We have the Believe in Serverless YouTube channel, and we need to take advantage of that with things like shorts and just actually palatable videos. We can get people that are just doom scrolling Believe in Serverless clips for
hours. They're going to spend
hours.
hours in the Believe in Serverless channel. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't actually say that in the podcast episode we released today about it, but I should have said it in that. So how are we going to do that? Andres, I have left you totally in the dark with this one. I am the man with
I'm ready for a surprise.
Yeah, and I am ready to surprise. But actually, I do have some things that are already set in stone. Like I decided that we were going to use AppRunner. I had earlier decided that we were going to use LangChain and Anthropic to figure all these things out. But I'm going to go ahead and call an audible on that because LangChain is certainly overkill for what we need. And we'll get to that in a second. But we are going to use Anthropic to figure out what we need. So let's do this. One of my favorite things to do is whiteboard. And let's do that. Let's see. I would say let's whiteboard on my whiteboard here because my camera follows me now, which is super cool. But my kids apparently were in here recently and it just looked like a disaster.
That happens. That's happened when you have a whiteboard.
Yes, it does. And they come. Yes. So let's do this. Let's open up Excalidraw, which is the whiteboarding tool that I use for pretty much everything. And you see a lot of content creators using it because it just creates really nice visuals.
Yeah, I really like it. It's nice pictures.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let me bring Excalidraw up and we're going to plan out what we're going to be drawing today. And then we're going to build that. So here we go. So hear the pirate music, right? Within our first mate in the background.
Your mic kind of muffled a little bit, Alan.
Is this okay now?
Oh yeah, that's way better.
All right. Should I use my podcaster voice? This is actually my radio voice, not my podcaster voice.
But do AM radio voice.
I'm not gonna go there. The stations I listened to on AM radio when I was a kid with my father, I do not want to relive. So let's talk about what we need to do. So what we have is a YouTube video. Okay. Yes. And what we want is a bunch of clips. That's actually not what I wanted to draw. I wonder why everything defaulted as blue. Clip. So what we want is a bunch of these. Let's just say that out of a single 2-hour live stream, maybe we have, how many is that? 5 clips. So what we need to do is we need to say, how do we go from a 2-hour YouTube video to a bunch of clips? Andres, do you know how to do that?
Watching the video.
Okay, that is the manual way. That's the expensive way because it just never really gets any faster. I mean, I guess you could watch the video on 2x speed like you listen to podcasts. Yep. But that's, I don't know, you miss a lot of stuff when you do that, especially when you're watching a video. So here are the steps that need to happen when you're trying to do this in an automated fashion. So the first thing you need to do, and we'll scope this to the AWS ecosystem. We'll scope, first let's draw what we need to do. What we need to do is download. I'm just going to do basic steps right now.
So you need to download the whole video.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so we'll download the video, and then we will transcribe it.
Transcript? Yeah.
Transcribe video. And the reason we do that is because all the AI tools that we need are text-based, and we're not going to realistically pass in a 2-hour video to Claude or OpenAI. Honestly, I'm not even sure if they accept video right now. They are multimodal, but I do know that they accept pictures. I'm not sure about videos.
Okay.
But even if they could accept videos, I genuinely don't want to send in a 2-hour video. That would be
probably
so expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive. Yes. Okay, so we have download video, transcribe video, and then we need to ask AI. That's really the next step. Is once we have this, then we can just give it as context to the LLM. We can say, give us a whole bunch of, or here's what to look for. Where is that? How, give me 5 of them, give me 8 of them, and give me where they are, right? Summarize what the clips are so I know, so I can filter out just without having to go look at them, and then give me where they are. And then really we're kind of at the clips, and that's about as far as I want to go today. I don't know if we'll be able to go much further than that in the time that we have.
Yeah.
So that's how we get there. It's 3 steps. It seems easy, right? It's just 3 steps.
It's simple, and it's AI.
Right.
Do everything.
AI can do it all for us. Yeah. So let's talk about these pieces here. Downloading the video. I don't know. Here's a good question for really everybody. How big is a YouTube video that's 2 hours long? How many meg? How many kilobytes? How many gig? Anders, what's your guess?
2 hours. Thinking 2 gigs.
2 gig. Wow.
2 hours of high quality content that you and I produce, Alan.
This is very, very high quality content, but that does not reflect in the size. So we did have one guess. Jonathan said 8 gig. Also wrong. It is, at least in the test that I was running before this, I was doing Jeremy's session from yesterday, Jeremy Daly's session that he did, which was 1 hour. It was about 210 meg.
Okay. Oh.
But that was through Zoom. That was the call recording quality through there, and it's really variable, right? Yeah. I don't know how much it's going to be. I also don't know how long it's going to take to download the video. The very first time I did it, it took 30 seconds, but that was actually downloading it locally from my machine. I don't know how long it will take to do it if I did it, let's say, from Lambda. To me, there's too many unknowns. There's too many variables to use Lambda in this case, which is why I think we should be trying to do this with AppRunner.
Okay. Makes sense.
What is AppRunner, Andres?
It is a way to run your code, but it's more containery, right? So Lambda abstracts a lot more. So it could be bigger. It can hold more data than the Lambda function, and it can run for more than 15 minutes. But still, how you deploy these are a little bit different based on what I know. You point it to like a GitHub repository location, and it executes that, and it takes care of containerizing that code and executing it so it can scale as needed. Am I on the right path?
You're actually very close. Yeah. Well
nice.
Done. So AppRunner is a managed container service, and it will elastically scale your containers horizontally for you. And there's a whole bunch of traffic. There's auto scaling configurations that you can do, and the service itself manages that. What I really like about AppRunner is, you can stand a container up, and it's up. It doesn't go back down. It is a stateful container that's out there in the sky, or a set of containers based on how you've chosen to scale it. My favorite part, though, is the fact that I actually don't have to build the container, manage container dependencies, or any of that nonsense. Every time we had to do that at a prior job, when you and I worked together, I had you do it because I don't know Docker really at all because I always deferred that stuff to you. So I still don't know because I have services like AppRunner that do all that for me. So really, you were right. The way that we're going to be doing it today is we're going to be pointing it at a GitHub repository. Cool. And the service itself will be responsible for building the container and shipping it up to the cloud and doing the load balancing if we needed to do load balancing, which we don't because we're only going to be single threading this.
What if it picks up and everybody wants to use it, Alan?
I don't want that because this is going in our account, and that would be expensive given what we're going to be doing.
True.
So no.
Good call.
Actually,
Thank you.
When I was testing this, I like doing things live, but I also really like knowing what we're going to be doing and at least having some path toward the end prior to getting live. So I was testing running one of our 2-hour transcripts through Claude the other day, and I was doing Claude Opus, which is like the cream of the crop. This is the best LLM out there. They say it's better than OpenAI's LLM for V4, ChatGPT 4, whatever it is. Okay. And so I tried it, and I just did it through code. I said, load this SRT file, which is a subtitle file. I gave it to Claude and say, go find me the best clips. And then I went and looked at my Anthropic account, and it said that query cost you $1.29. Because I passed it in like 80,000 tokens with that subtitle file for a 2-hour stream, which is a lot. I want to say that the Anthropic, like Opus specifically, charges $25 per million tokens inbound, something like that. So we're actually going to not use that one today because that one's really expensive, and we're going to be dealing with a lot of tokens. We're going to use Sonnet, which is that mid-grade but still probably smarter than your average teenager LLM.
Cool.
And it's much, much cheaper. I think it's like $3 for a million as opposed to 25. But all this was to tangent saying, I hope nobody looks at these URLs that we're going to be putting live on the internet and starts using it, because I don't want that bill to rack up.
We'll kill these immediately.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we have one box on our diagram so far, and that's App Runner. And what's actually really nice about this is that this just means that it's just a lot of code. It's not necessarily stringing a whole bunch of services together. But we do have to do a couple of different things. In order to access App Runner, we have to build an Express API. Well, we have to build an API inside of the container, and we're going to use Express because that's the one that I somewhat know. It's the one that's easy for me to ask ChatGPT how to use. And App Runner, the service, will actually expose that port automatically based on my config file. So I can say I'm going to open an API on port 8000, and it will say, okay, 8000 is exposed to the internet via this public address. So we'll do that. And then we are going to download the video. I found a package that actually works really, really well. It's called YTDL, YouTube Downloader. There it is.
Makes sense. Yeah.
We'll use that. And then we'll pass it through the transcribe service inside of AWS.
Does transcribe trigger based off an S3 object, or you can just give it the file? And
we do have to give it an S3 object. I'm actually not positive, but that is the way that the documentation I read said to do it. So what we'll do, I'll just do this. We'll download via YouTube Downloader. It's actually called YouTube Downloader Core. So we'll do that. Make that small and make that look codey. And then we have to drop that into S3. S3. You see it? There it is.
Cool.
I can't tell if this is piratey or just like little house on the prairie music going on in the background.
I feel like I'm in Frontierland or something in Disney.
I don't watch that one.
No, just in Disneyland.
Oh, nice. Okay, so the download phase 1, is going to be inside of App Runner, and it's going to use YTDL Core to actually download the video from YouTube, so we can actually have a file to manipulate, and then we're going to put that in S3. Beautiful. We're not going to use events to then trigger the next thing. We're just going to orchestrate this whole thing inside of the container. Once we put that into the S3 bucket, then we're going to pass that along to transcribe. I don't know if there's, yeah, cool. So we're in the transcribe video step. We're going to use probably Amazon transcribe versus AWS transcribe. Like that. We'll go to transcribe, and that is going to generate for us an SRT file, which is just a subtitle file. I don't know what it actually stands for. Sub-RIP something. I know RIP is in there. The R stands for RIP.
Street and racing technology? I don't think it's that.
No, it's definitely definitely not that.
Secure,
Uh,
reliable transport.
nope.
Video transport protocol.
Nope. You need to go to Google and do .srt or SRT extension.
Okay. Subrip.
That's it. Yeah. Subrip transcripts, maybe.
Yeah. Subrip subtitle file. SRT.
Okay. Cool. There we go. We learned something.
Yay.
And now, after we get that SRT file, that is going to contain all of the words, the spoken words, and the timestamps. And I think there's actually a way in transcribe. We're not going to do it today, but I think there is a way to identify speakers. So it would say Andres was talking at 5 minutes in, and these were the words that he said, which is super useful. And we'll look at an SRT file here in a minute, just to kind of get a feel for what that file shape is. And then once we have the SRT file, then we're good. Now we have the context that we need. We've gone from a YouTube video to the spoken words that we can go and give to the AI. And that can be, I'm just going to use Bedrock. We can use really whatever. I don't know if Bedrock's even on. No, I don't have it.
Yeah,
so I will just
in Excalibur, but we can just
I want to. There we go. We'll just say AI. Looks robot-y, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll take that and go there.
It should give us the times of the videos we want or the clips we want.
Yeah. And so we're not actually going to be parsing the video file itself today. That would be a lot of work, especially since I'm really rambling on for what we're going to build here at the beginning. What we're going to do instead is YouTube has basically a jump to point in the video feature via query string parameter. So if you didn't know that, you can go to any YouTube video, and in a query string, you can do T equals 50s, and it will jump the playhead to 50 seconds into the video.
Yep.
So ultimately there, what we want is we want this list of suggested clips from AI that jumps us to different points in the video to say, this is probably a good clip for you to try. So really, ideally, what we would do is the output of the AI is going to say, here is what this clip is about. Here is where it starts. And here's how long it is. And we take that, and then we can really, ideally, what I would like to do is create an email in HTML that we can email to me or you, Andres, and say, here's our output. Here are the clips that I recommend given the YouTube video that you sent me.
Nice. Yeah. Because I've tried for our live streams to find like clips and stuff, and it's like, oh, there's a way in YouTube to create clips from a video, right? So I go to the Believe in Serverless channel and just try to find them, but you have to rewatch the whole thing. And then you got to go, hey, from here to here, and you create the clip. But having that, hey, it just gives me where the clips are. Now it would make that easier. So
totally would.
Hey,
I really hope it does, because we have
We'll
a lot of things. There's a lot of videos that this community is generating every week, and I want to be able to actually, break those down into bite-sized pieces so we can actually get more viewership. So I deployed earlier today into our shared AWS account, Andres, my little serverless toolbox that I made a long time ago that has an EventBridge rule in it that's connected to my SendGrid account that will send an email. So in order to send an email, all we need to do is say send email to, and then provide it the HTML, and then it'll go and it'll send that off.
Cool.
So hopefully we can get to that point in the next hour. Yeah, hope we
Feeling
can.
good. Yeah.
Yes. So I am actually going to take this hat off because
You need
oh
blood in your brain.
Yes. Okay. Can actually feel the blood rushing back into my entire body right now. It was stuck up there. Let's do some stuff. Let's build things. So first, let's do this. Andres, I'm going to bring your screen up because you have the AWS console open. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, I finally was able to get the app runner thing deployed earlier this morning, right before we jumped on this call. So why don't you hop on over to the app runner console? We'll poke around that just for a quick second, just so we can let the audience understand what we're looking at, and then we can actually start looking at code. Your look of trepidation makes me a little nervous. Okay, so what you see here, that bottom one was me trying to poke through the console, and the top one is me actually going through infrastructure as code.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this,
which I know I was trying to make you proud. I don't like doing things through the console, but I couldn't get a good error message through infrastructure as code. So this is the one that's actually deployed via the source code that we're going to put on GitHub today. And this is the one that we're going to be manipulating. So every time we make a change, we push code to, you see the repo right there that you're hovering over. Every time we push to the main branch there, it will trigger the app runner service to rebuild. It will recreate the containers and redeploy with the latest changes. And it has all these nice logs in here. It has both the deployment logs and the application logs. The application logs would be if like we're doing console.log. That's where those things are going to go. The deployment logs are going to be the actual, like, let me pull the source code down from GitHub and actually like build the container itself and get that up in the sky.
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay. And then up at the top, you see default domain. That is our actual endpoint.
Is there something running already there?
Yeah, man. Of course. I mean, not that way. The API that I built, we're going to have to use Postman to do because it's a post.
Okay.
And we can do that. I actually do need to copy that URL. Can you send that to me in our secret private chat?
Yeah.
And then
chat.
We can use that. Yes. So let's take a look at the code that I put together before we got on this stream. So we can, I was trying to save time because this is actually a pretty hefty project when all things considered. We're doing a lot. So I wanted to get as far ahead as I could and catch you guys up because talking about it is a lot faster than writing it.
Beautiful.
Okay. So here's our repository. And let me show you a couple things that we have in here. We have our, I call this the prerequisite folder. And this is where we're going to be deploying things into the cloud just via a SAM template. So this was the S3 bucket that we're going to be using, and then the app runner roles and the transcribe roles that we're going to be using to actually do things, be able to access things in our AWS accounts. So those things needed to be up there in the sky for everything to work. And then down here, this is the actual service that we were just poking through in the console. This is how that's defined. It says, here's the repository that we're going to use, and then build whenever we push to the main branch. And then this is the permissions that specific instance is allowed to invoke. The very first time I used App Runner probably took me 3 hours to figure out. Could not figure out how on earth a container was going to be able to access a DynamoDB table that I was using.
This is the equivalent of a Lambda function execution role, right?
Yeah.
Where you find, hey, this can do a query against this DynamoDB table, etc. Cool.
Exactly. Yes. So this is the infrastructure that's behind. It's not really the stuff that we're going to be messing with. This was more or less the prerequisites that we had to get up there. Now, everything else that's in this, inside of this repository is actually used to manipulate the app runner instance. Right here, we'll start with the app runner YAML file. This is just showing us really about that container environment. It's running Node.js 18. 20 is not supported yet inside of App Runner, so don't give me that look, Andres.
Yeah, interesting.
And then about as easy of a build pipeline as you can imagine. It's just running npm install, and then after it's installed, the container is up. It runs npm start. All npm start is doing, if we jump over to the package JSON, is just running our index.js file. That's it. Super easy, right?
Yeah. And
then I can also specify in here the environment variables and what port I wanted exposed out of that container. So the API that we're going to be creating is going to be looking at port 8000. And if we went through the deployment logs, it identified 8000 and opened that up to the internet. We don't have to go through that though. So there we go. index.js. So I have a whole bunch of stuff in here because, like I said, there's a lot to it. There's as simple as that Excalidraw diagram looked. There are more pieces than you would think. So Andres, this is what we were saying here. Our API is going to have a post/videos endpoint. So that base URL that you had, let me copy that. I'm going to use Postman to post to the /videos endpoint. You can see that we just had that defined right here. We're doing a post /videos. And then what that's going to do is it's going to get the URL from the body. And then it's going to first verify. It's going to verify that that video exists. If it doesn't, we'll send back a 404. If it does, we're going to send back a 202 because I don't know how long this download is going to take. So I don't want the other end waiting for 30 seconds, for a minute, for however long, waiting for a download to happen when ultimately I don't have to. This is an async operation. So we're going to send back a 202 pretty much immediately. It takes about, 400 milliseconds to do this part, to verify that that video exists. And then it will just say, okay, I'm going to start downloading. And then it goes and actually does start downloading.
Great use of status codes, Alan. That's exactly.
Thank you.
That's
exactly what you would have done.
Yeah.
All 2 status codes that I put
you have 3. You have the 500.
Okay,
500. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. I always do the 500 because my code breaks a lot. I have another endpoint. We'll build this one. I didn't get a time to actually build that one out. And then here's the download. So the download is going to download with the highest quality audio, because that's the most important thing to us in the video. It's not actually the video itself. We want to make sure that that audio is really, really good, because what we're going to end up doing is passing it to a service that's sitting on top of AI that transcribes. It's basically speech to text. So we want that highest quality audio. We're going to save it as an MP4, and then we're going to have that locally in the container. That's what this is doing. So once it's in the container, then once it's done downloading, we'll upload it to S3. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Still with me? This is exactly what we were just doing in the diagram. This is just what the code looks like for those pretty little boxes that we had. Once we get to this function, we're uploading it to S3. We're just using put object, and it is. I actually don't know if this works, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see if that works. We're gonna be parsing through some logs. If it doesn't, so it's going to be pushing that over into S3. And once that's done, we're gonna run that transcribe. That transcribe job. Now that's actually an async job, and I couldn't figure out a super easy way to get when it's done besides polling.
Really?
A lot of the services that you see that are AI based in AWS, like the OCR, whatever the OCR, Textract. Whenever you're using something like Textract, where it's basically doing the vision or the
extracting the
version.
text from the
Yes, the image version of what we're trying to do here, it fires an SNS topic, a message across an SNS topic, and you can subscribe to like a Lambda function that says, yeah, okay, this is done. Let's resume our workflow. This doesn't have that, at least not easily identifiable in the docs. So if we get to this point, if we get all the way here first try, which I am not going to guarantee success on the first go, because I don't know if I set any of this up right. If we get there, then we'll figure out what to do. Maybe we'll poll. Maybe you and I like step functions. Maybe we'll just go and build a step function.
I'll refresh from the console.
Yeah, I mean, we can. That's the easiest way, you know. So let's do this. Let's see what happens. So this is the live version. We have our app runner endpoint /videos. We're doing a post, and we're passing in the URL. This is Jeremy's video. This is not ours. This is the one from yesterday where Jeremy was walking us through Amped. And so remember what this is going to do. It's going to download the file locally to the container. It's going to upload it to S3. And then once it's done in S3, then it will go and it'll kick off that transcribe job and create an SRT file that will also be put into S3. all in theory because I haven't tested this at all. So let's hit send and see what it does. So we got a 2 of 2. That really tells us not much.
You did it. You did a great job with those 3 lines of code.
Yes. Okay, so that actually will probably take a while. I don't know if it all works. I'm gonna guess that's probably gonna take 2 or 3 minutes. Again, best case scenario if it all works.
I'm checking the logs over here. I do see that download started.
Okay, great.
Sam has a question, which we probably don't know the answer, but does it post an EventBridge event to the default bus?
We can check.
What was the page?
Just go look for service event, AWS service events. And while you do that, great question, Sam. Andres, while you go look for that, I'm going to bring up an SRT file so we can look at what's actually being generated if, in theory, or all of our theory works out. So this is super basic, right? This is an SRT file that you can see in a 2-hour session. This is the one that Andres and I did with Neon. It's 11,000 lines. Dang. But these are all the segments. It has 2,584 segments. It doesn't have the speakers, but it does have the range for each segment. And it has, like the start and stop time and what was said inside of that duration here. So giving information like this to an LLM, super, super useful when it's looking for clips because it's going to be able to parse that. This isn't an abstract way to think about a script to a machine. This actually is like an ideal format because it's saying, okay, across this 6-second time gap, these are the words that were said. I think this was still our song at the very beginning of the thing with Neon the server.
Oh
yeah, that's not perfect, right? I think this said like what it actually said was the serverless Postgres on the run. I don't know. Again, because we're using AI, it is a little bit forgiving, right? It's not going to take everything super literally. That's the nice thing about LLMs in general, is that they look for semantic meanings, not literal meanings. So that's an SRT file. Hopefully what we just did will create one of those for Jeremy Daly's video from yesterday. Now, I think I've probably spoken long enough for where if this did work, you shook your head already. Okay, there's no.
Did you add a log after the download?
Yeah, I did. Let's bring I'm going to bring your screen back up. Here comes your screen.
Access denied.
Access denied. Okay.
We don't have start transcription job.
We don't have start transcription job. Okay. But that's actually, okay, great. I'm happy with that because that means, so your screen is showing. Let's, we'll get there in a minute. We'll fix that, but let's go into S3. Let's go see what that file looks like. So hopefully we should have a file in that S3 bucket that is the video from YouTube.
Clip finder.
Yeah.
4. Nice. Okay.
Click it.
Will it open it?
Yeah, it should.
Downloaded it.
Okay, well, it's 205 megs, so maybe we'll come back later. That's good though. Okay, so part 1 done. I should have guaranteed some success.
You usually do, and the first time you don't, it actually succeeds a little bit. So
yeah. I mean, if we were in Vegas, I would have lost the bet. But
while my screen is showing, so Sam, there is an EventBridge event that we can tie into for status changes around a job.
Oh, thank goodness! Thank goodness! Great idea, Sam. We will do that. We will certainly do that when it's done. What are we going to put on the other end of it? I don't know yet because I want to get that SRT file generated first. So go back to the error, please, Andres. And if you just want to send me that permission that's missing, we can do that real quick.
Application logs.
So what it was saying was the container that AppRunner is running. That sounds, yeah. The container that app runner is running did not have that permission because we were trying to start that operation from inside of the container itself. So what we have to do is we have to go and change. Did you send it to me?
I sent
We have
you
to go
the
and change.
action.
Yeah, cool.
And I can send you probably the resource if you don't want to do like a full star. You can prefix it
Might as well.
because you need. Yeah.
So we need to add. This is the role that app runner is executing under. So this is its full range of permissions. You can see right now we have get object, put object from the clip finder bucket, and then we have these. So it looks like I just called
Create. We need the start transcription job.
This is what I get for using Amazon Q, man.
It gave you
Q
the
did that
full.
for me. It created this part up here for me. It's not what I want. Okay. So it was missing start transcription job, and it was missing it on this ARN, which we're gonna sub out. Oh, that was cool. Did you see Code Whisperer did that?
Nice. You don't have to do the partition.
I do it out of habit, man. We did
Yeah.
that for so long that we're gonna do that.
For people watching, why we use a partition is if you're in the Gov Cloud and you're deploying, let's say we had environments running in the commercial cloud and environments running in the Gov Cloud. If you hard coded AWS only, that would only work for commercial. You have a separate partition there that is AWS-US-gov if you're deploying to the Gov Cloud. So we just got used to doing this.
And even if it's not available in GovCloud, it might be available in the future. It doesn't hurt to have that.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to have it. It on occasion will hurt to not have it. So
like if you're doing things with Workflow Studio, it will definitely just hard code the partition and as AWS. So that's part of the issues we see. It's interesting.
Hey, did I use the correct variable here? Is it account ID spelled like this?
It is almost sure, but I can verify.
Okay. So that's, oh, cool. Already deployed. Nice. Let's try it again. No. I don't actually know what has to happen here. We updated the execution.
Did we lose Alan? I guess we lost Alan.
Here I am.
Oh, was
back.
it me? Or was it you?
I don't know. I mean, I saw my own screen spin like that, but I don't know. So I'm speculating. I don't actually know what's about to happen because we updated the role. Thanks. Who's in charge of bringing the comments up? That we did not.
I can't do that. So
Jonathan, dang it. Okay, so let's just see what happens.
Nice.
Okay. Now time for the speculation. Might as well talk while that's going on. We changed the execution role, or whatever role has all of our permissions, without restarting the service, the app runner service. So I don't know if it's going to hold on to the old version that didn't have the permission, or if we have to reboot it. I don't know the answer to that.
Let's test it.
We're about to find out. Yes, we are about to find out. Let's let me flip back to your screen, Andres, since you're doing the AWS console. Take a peek at what
I was looking at the time, so it should be around 2 minutes.
Okay. So the container that we have running up in the cloud is not as beefy as my developer machine here that I have locally. So all the download times and everything is going to be a little bit longer than what I was seeing here. It's taking about 30 seconds-ish to download that 200 something meg file from YouTube on my machine. You said it was about 2 minutes there?
Yeah, so it started.
Okay. Now that is something that you can change in App Runner. Can you go back out to the main console? We just take a look at that for a second. You can, I think it's under, Oof. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. So that's on me for making that so baseline. Maybe if we will end up having to make a change inside of the container itself in the container code, and we can up the virtual CPU and the amount of memory that it has to make things go a little bit faster for us.
Cool.
And this is under your account, so you're paying, so we can make it as big as we want.
No limit. Let's do it. Let's upload into S3.
Okay, and I don't have versioning turned on that bucket. It has the same name as before, so it's just going to overwrite the file that's there. We could optimize this code and do a head object command and see if that file exists. If it does, bypass that and just pass it along, which we probably should do because it turns out this takes a long time to download. But it's fine. So we'll upload that to S3, and then hopefully this will kickstart that transcription job. So Andres, while that's going, let's talk about the next phase here.
It's already going on.
It's already going.
Failed.
What did it fail with?
Our role. Start transcription job.
So that could mean that we just need to restart the service.
That's true. Can I do it here?
Because we definitely put that. Let's try.
Actions. No. Or deploy.
I have no idea how this works. So this is fun.
Deploy? No, that's what we just did, right?
Try it. It's okay if we have a service disruption. I honestly don't even know if it ends up with a service disruption, if this does like a blue-green kind of thing. I don't know enough about the service. It's so good. I don't know enough about it.
It's pulling the source code. That was... Did we get a
AJ
drum
said
roll?
it looks good to him. What?
Did we get a drum roll? Was that...
Ooh, was it a drum roll?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, that was like, what is that? I don't know. Hi-hat.
Starting source code build.
Okay, so that's going to go through, and it's actually going to build the container, like create the container and deploy that out into the cloud. So let's talk about the next step, Andres. So let's assume that we have this SRT file in S3. Now that Sam said I guess you discovered that an event bridge event gets fired when that transcription job is done. What do you want to do? How do you want to get from that SRT file to asking AI to do something? What do you want to do?
I mean, the simplest route is we can have a Lambda function as a target and then just send the prompt, right? But do we need to download the SRT file? It's probably small enough that it could fit in a Lambda function. I have no idea what the size.
Definitely fit inside the Lambda function, yes.
Yeah, if a video is 400 megs, then we're fine. It's that. Then we said transcribe has the event, so we can just trigger it, and then we'll have the Lambda function as a target, then send it to AI. It can be a Lambda function. It could be.
So you want to have a Lambda function that will
be listening to that event and the whatever we had for. Where is it? This one, transcribe job state change with a filter for completed, I would assume. You're checking the time to see if that's viable.
I was not checking the time. My watch told me I needed to move.
Oof, just do this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I have 190 more steps before I give you thoughts.
Don't do that.
For the sake of time, that's fine. I really don't like building Lambda functions that way. That do multiple things. Like what we were just talking about was creating a Lambda function that loads a file out of S3, and then really what this is part 2, right? So it would load the file out of S3. It would talk to Claude, and then finally it would generate the email and send it.
Yeah, typically we would do a step function for that. If you want to, we can go that route, and it's easy to set up a target for a step function in EventBridge. Do you want to go that route? You've done more AI communications via step functions directly than I have, so.
I have. I was so ready. I don't know. Let's just do the Lambda function. I think that ultimately will be the fastest, so we don't have to mess with a whole bunch of different permissions.
Cool.
So let's do that.
Back. So we're back here. Health check. It's successful. Do you want to trigger?
Yeah, it's up and running. The new version.
Yeah, it should. Yeah,
Okay.
Listening on port.
Okay, I just kicked off another one, so we can check to see in a minute the progress of that. While we do that, let's change the configuration of that app runner service to be a little bit beefier.
It's faster.
Yeah.
Config.
So it's currently being deployed in infrastructure as code. Can you change it from there?
It doesn't let me while this is deploying.
I thought you said it was done.
It was done spinning up. I didn't know you triggered a change from CloudFormation.
I didn't.
No? Well, I guess I lied, Alan. Successfully deployed.
What are we gonna do? All right. So you know what I did today that I wasn't prepared with last time is I re-authenticated with Q. So we can take a look. See, it's already done me dirty today one time because it told me a fake permission inside of IAM for transcribe. It said create transcription job, and it's actually start transcription job. Semantically, it means the same thing. Don't you just love semantics? But what we can do is we can actually do the code completion part versus me just asking it what permissions do I need for this. So let's build this giant Lambda function.
What do you want for app runner? 2, 6. Go max that all out.
Let's just do 4.
And 12.
And
we're good there.
8's fine. 8's fine. And then once that's good, then I'll kick off another job and we'll see how quickly it works. Okay. Let's build a Lambda function that does stuff.
Yay.
Let's bring back the code and let's minimize this terminal here because this is going to get big. So I already had code in here for generating the email that we could send to ourselves.
Beautiful. Burn those hero credits.
AJ said, burn those hero credits. I don't actually know how much App Runner costs. We're only on here for another 35 minutes, so I'm sure we'll be okay.
I did just get reaccepted to Community Builder, so I have credits too, so we're good.
There you go. Congratulations to everybody that's watching. If you just got re-upped on the Community Builders, I don't know if were they also doing new CBs or was it just renewals?
This was just renewals. New CBs were a couple months ago.
Okay. Well, congratulations to everybody that just got renewed. I'm just gonna move
Put
this
all that
code
in a function. Yeah.
Yeah. So this took a video URL and it took data. Yeah, data. Okay. First thing we're going to do is load that file out of S3. Do you know what that object looks like, the event params?
From the transcribe, I mean, it's just.
Did it have a
details? It's just. Are you looking at my?
I'm not going to tweet the bucket name.
Yeah, not till they fix that, but. And I think we already showed it in S3.
We did.
So it is the event just looks exactly like it's the EventBridge event. So it will be event detail dot transcription.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, does it have the file name of the output file?
It does not seem to have that. It just has the status. So it doesn't. If you have multiple going at the yeah, this is not going to work.
I mean, it can. We'll just have to look it up. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. We'll get there. Okay. Let's create this Lambda function first, and let's actually see it work. You keep monitoring that that job that we just ran. Actually, did it finish deploying with the beefier settings? And then I'll kick off another one.
It's still updating. I'm refreshing.
Still updating.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. I am going to type in a comment. Load. Oh, nope. Let me get on the home row. Load file from S3.
Is it going to suggest everything? It's V2 though. Ugh.
Let's see. Honestly, loading files out of S3 was much easier in SDK V2 than it was V3. All right, let's just follow what it's going to do. Give me more. Okay.
It's V1. It's V2.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. We'll do what we need to do.
It's exactly what I would have done. You have why is data? Oh, because you have it from the event. So this, just rename that.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. No, that's my own fault for not even looking. Okay. We'll just call this some content. We'll just say it's content. Okay.
It's the app runner's done updating.
Have I tried /dev command? No. No, that's not right.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it would be. Wonder why Copilot would name the bucket either. You're using Q, right?
Plan and implement new functionality across multiple. Ooh. I wish it was listening to this stream right now. That'd have been awesome. Okay. Load an SRT out of an S3 bucket. What did we say we needed to do? Ask Bedrock to consume the contents of that SRT file and generate an email with the results from Bedrock. Okay, so that says it's going to take a few minutes. Is App Runner done deploying?
Yes.
Okay. If you said that, I apologize. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. Okay, so that kicked off a job. Hopefully that goes a little bit faster than it has in the past. While that's generating its answer, let's just keep going here. Let me move the require up and move this up. Get rid of comments. Who comments their code?
What? Who comments their code?
Who comments their code? I remember you used to do pull requests or like review PRs where you were like, take that comment out of there. Okay.
But you have a function that says calculate time, and then you had a comment saying, hey, I'm calculating the time. It's like, well, it's kind of repetitive.
Okay. This is actually pretty cool. Okay, so retrieve. This is like this is exactly the kind of thing that I used to do when I was writing user stories for our dev team.
Yeah.
This kind of thing. So can I follow up and say, can you do that? Would you like to generate a suggestion for this?
And
no,
I guess it will suggest.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the button that says do it. Oh my goodness. This stream just got a lot shorter if that's the case, man. We didn't even need to.
We'll start every stream now with just asking Amazon Q and say, hey, can you build this for me? Cool.
So that was Adam recommending that. I told you when I was there Adam, that I was going to try it out, and here's me proving to you that yes, I am trying it out in public too. So it's like a double whammy. Okay. Generating code. I'm like hesitant to even write my own code because it's probably going to be better than what I'm about to write while it's running. While we wait, let's flip back to you. Let's see where we're at.
Just refresh. It's uploading the video.
Okay, I can work with that. Did it take a lot less time to download now that we beefed up the container?
Like a
Starting
minute.
download. Yeah, I mean, marginally faster. Could be worse.
Yeah. Let's see. I wish it auto. Oh. Is not authorized still.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate because that means that all of this was just me making a typo on the policy. That's annoying.
What did you?
I would really like to blame you for this one, but I'll blame myself. So looking at this, we gave it permissions to this specific resource.
Oh, /star.
Yeah, we needed to give it to all of that. Super annoying. Okay. Now we're going to do another test, and we're going to see, well, maybe we can kick this off and not have to redeploy the service out there in the sky. I'm actually really curious on what's going to happen here. What do you think is going to happen?
I think it. No, I don't know. It doesn't restart itself, right? When we deploy, it didn't do that because I had to do it manually.
Yes, it redeploys whenever we push to the GitHub repository backing this. That's when it will go and rebuild the container and redeploy it into the sky.
Not the okay.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is kind of changing stuff under the covers. I'm just deploying behind.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to restart it.
You do? Well, let's try it anyway, and see. Let's see if it's done. See if it was successful. Yes. Okay. Where's Postman? Here we go.
Sound.
Okay. We really needed to add that item potency check. We really should do that, but
yeah.
Maybe this code that Q is generating will do it for us. It says, I was looking at your code and it really wasn't very good. Here's a better suggestion.
Really? You have a job?
That's right. Are you sure you're a professional developer? Are you sure? I was in management, okay?
That's not an excuse, Al. Where were you before management?
I don't know. So Sam said something that I don't even know how to start with that. You can use the IAM policy simulator to fix the role and test it before deploying it. Sam, I'm going to put a pin in this one and get you on this stream with Andres and I, and you can walk us through that when we're building something. And you can educate us all on the policy simulator.
Yep.
Okay. Where are we at? Okay, cool. Look at this. Okay.
Oh, this is crazy.
I don't feel like I should just accept everything because I could subsequently break everything. Oh, this is in the Lambda function. I'm totally fine to do this. Let me see if it... Okay, yeah. We'll accept that. How do I... Oh, insert code. Oh, it even made a test file. This is going to be the first time my code has tests in like 3 years.
Oh, that goes into when we work together, so that's unfortunate.
I just really like testing to see what you're going to say to things like that.
We're still picking that. We're still picking
legit.
up that. We're still picking up those unit tests that you didn't do, Alan. So
gaslighting me.
Transcribing video. We have a bad request now, which is different, Alan.
A bad request? Oh, okay. I'm good with that. I can change params. What does it say? Let me flip back to you.
So I went to CloudWatch now.
Can you
but
zoom in?
Yes, CloudWatch gets weird with another level. But here it is. Yeah, like I told you, it gets weird. Output key failed to satisfy constraint. Regex, do you know what it's meaning? Where we're missing?
Yeah, of course I can read regex. Everybody can, right?
Yeah, just off the bat, you know what the issue is. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this regex 101. Do you want
I
me
wonder
to
if it doesn't
test
like the dot.
or the spaces? So I'm gonna dump this.
I
What's
mean,
the
it's a
output
valid
key?
S3 file name.
Where's CloudWatch? The output key is we're trying to do this.
I wonder if it's because it has.
It's the space. It's if we did this, yeah, it starts matching.
So we need to trim the spaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can just do a split and just take the beginning, right?
It's fine. We can. I already have something that's taking those out, or that's taking special characters out, so we can update it.
Cool. Yeah, Sam says white space. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly it. You knew that just
Okay.
by looking at the regex, Sam, or did you do what I did? Okay.
Okay. Back to me.
Yeah.
So this was AI generated, and again, I can't actually read regular expressions. That's not something humans can do. Confident in that answer. So I'm just going to add another one to the end. I'm just going to add another replace, and we're going to replace that with nothing.
Beautiful. That works.
There we go. Yep. And then, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, we'll do that. Fix file name. Is that descriptive enough of a commit message? No, it's not. Okay, I knew you were going to call me on that. The file name. The file name. Okay, so let's have a gander here at the code that was generated for us by Q. Okay, so here we go. Line 2 is our first problem. So at least it's not line 1. It's just importing Bedrock SDK. This is one that actually, honestly, I would expect Q to know, given its extensive AWS training that I assume that it has. I don't know.
It at least added a comment that, hey, assuming this is the Bedrock SDK.
Yeah, I think it's called Client Bedrock Runtime like that. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. We'll look it up. But it does it. Yeah, it has that comment. We don't need to do this because it will automatically get what we need. Oh, look, it made a typo. Bedrock C client.
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. I don't know.
That's definitely not right. I need to look at something else that I use Bedrock in.
I'm trying to find it. AWS SDK / client - Bedrock. I don't see.
No, there's another one. There's definitely another one.
Bedrock runtime client. That's client - Bedrock - runtime. It's close enough.
Okay.
There you go.
So this is a Lambda function that we're messing with now. So we don't need to actually install that in the NPM package because that's included inside of the environment already. Yep. That one and this one both.
You'll make your test fail though, but it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not used to tests failing.
Oh,
not used to tests running either. Okay, let's go to functions, generate email. I need the IntelliSense. Client Bedrock runtime. So let's look at the other stuff that it did. So we know that's not quite right, and that's fine. It wasn't that hard to change. So it's assuming that these two properties come in from the event. And so the first thing we're going to do is get SRT from S3. So it uses this to get the S3 client, get object command, buffer from. Okay. I've never used this. I haven't loaded files out of S3 this way before.
I've done the transform to string. I haven't done the byte array.
Okay.
But yeah, let's
hope it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice and easy if that's actually how it goes. And then generate clips from SRT. So bedrock client.
Consume SRT. Sweet.
That's not quite right. That one's not right. Okay. That's fine. It's fine if it gets us there, because the part I didn't want to do was loading from S3. We can work with this. We've done enough with Claude and Bedrock at this point where we can copy and paste something that we've had in the past. In the meantime, though, we've been poking around on this for a couple minutes. What is the status of our transcription job?
Did you... where are we? This is not the one, right? Did you trigger it again?
I sure hope I did.
Because you changed. We fixed the role.
Can you try refreshing the page? Did you just get here, or were you?
I was in CloudWatch, so it started deployment at 08, so 4 minutes ago. Because you pushed the code. I don't think we restarted.
Oh yeah,
it.
I did change the code. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So let's jump back to me then. Let's look at what we're doing here. This is again a Lambda function, and it's going to load the file from S3, and then this needs to change here. So let's just assume it's really funny that it did this.
It does a lot of assumptions.
I gave vague instructions though, so I'm not mad. You can probably tell because I'm laughing. But all I did was say Bedrock, so it assumes Bedrock. Well, I guess it didn't even assume it was AWS, because up here the import it said require AW or Bedrock SDK.
Yeah.
Okay. It did structurally, from an orchestration standpoint, it did the things that we wanted.
And then generate the email.
Yep. And then from here, this is where we would use the event bridge to publish the email out.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot quicker to iterate on, luckily for us. Oh, man. Okay. This is where I'm going to get embarrassed and have to copy things from other projects to be able to create infrastructure as code for a Lambda function.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what we all do.
Well, every time I say that out loud, Lars Lars Jacobson appears out of nowhere, and he says, you should use the tool that I built as a CLI that does that for you. Every single time.
Yeah, I've seen those. But yeah, I still copy. No shame in that. It's mostly what I do every day.
That, you know what? That is so true. That is what developers do every day. We copy, paste, replace. Okay. Let's do it. Template.
You got the example?
Yeah. So what are we going to call this one? Do the rest of it.
Yeah. Meaningful names. That's what we want.
But it's in the generate email folder. We'll probably bump that Lambda function up just a little bit. And we have this. And then we also are going to need the S3 get object.
Yep.
How do I do this? S3 get object. I really thought I was going to do it. That'd be pretty nice. We'll see if I get type ahead.
S3 get object. Look at that. IntelliSense.
That one's not IntelliSense. That's actually a plugin. I think Jimmy made that one. It's called I Am Legend.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I really like it. Okay, you tell me when we need to switch back to you or if I need to do something.
Are you going to deploy that, or did you trigger?
I'm not going to... This is the Lambda function that's kind of sidecar on the second half.
Okay, so I need you to go to Postman and just hit it.
Is it ready to go?
Let me see. So it is. App Runner is up and running.
It is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's our sent, and now has started downloading. And then we go back. Okay, so do the rest of the function. It is going to load that object out of S3. It is going to invoke a model in Bedrock. And then the last thing that we want that I'm going to have to go find an example for is it needs to do put events on the default event bus, which I definitely have examples of that everywhere in like every repository that I've built in the past few years. So let me pull that.
And
I actually seem to do that in step functions more than I do that in Lambda.
yeah, we still have that pattern a lot.
Yep.
And it's so simple.
So there it is. Okay. Load, ask, publish. And then did I have anything in here? No. I'm going to set the runtime. This is our only Lambda function, so I'll just do everything in here. Memory size, we'll just go there. I know AJ's on the stream, so if I do something heinous, he'll call me out. Yep. Probably enough.
Yep.
No. I really take for granted that globals section that I always put at the top. Okay.
Yeah, just takes care of all of it. You only override either the memory or the timeout when needed.
Yep.
Okay, it's uploading the video.
I'm just gonna keep on going.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know what the right indentation is.
Everything's under properties.
Does everybody else like to do their environment variables
All
like
caps?
That? Is this right? Yeah, because we just need the bucket name.
We got a transcription job in progress.
Hey, I really hope that works. I mean, that's probably obvious that I really hope that it works, but that would be cool. We didn't have to change that much. I was missing a permission, and then we also had to change the format of the file.
Yeah, and I see the job and transcribe. So.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wrong folder?
Yeah. I have no idea what that would have done.
Wait, if it can't find the template, it's the first thing it will fail.
Well, I've clearly done something wrong here. And it's in here. There's an indentation that's wrong. Can you find it?
No, I can't see. Code handler. Oh, yep.
Hander. The hander was index.handler. Okay, and then the next, after we get that actually working, the next thing would be to trigger it from that event bridge event that transcribe fires.
Yeah, so you have to add the events, state change event or something like that.
Do you have what it looks like?
I'm trying to think what project I've done that in.
No. Do you have what the event looks like?
Oh, it's just a regular event bridge event. Let me get that. This is for us sending the event. Are you correct?
This is not for us sending the event. This is for the transcribe thing, the transcribe event. So this is what I have used before when Amplify successfully builds for Ready Set Cloud. Transcription. We'll just change this from here. Source is probably not AWS Amplify. It's probably trans.
I sent you in our exclusive channel.
Ooh. Okay, so it was called that. And then we want to look for transcribe job state change. And then inside of there, we're going to look for transcription job status of completed.
Yep.
Like that. So that will trigger this Lambda function to run if I ever get it successfully deployed. It's because I'm in the wrong folder.
The transcription job finished.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Here, I'm going to flip back to you.
So first, we'll look at the logs. It should show. Oh yeah, well it ends when it starts the transcription and just lets it go. But here's the job. So here, output data location. This is the input. Audio sampling. So it gives toxicity. Are we doing system mode down now?
Nice.
So here, oh, so many things. SRTs. What
Click
do we
it.
got to do?
Look at it. Download it.
Open. Let's see if it opens it just like that. No.
Are you sharing your whole screen or just that window?
Just this window, but I can
Okay.
get VS Code on this screen and share that. So let me open this in VS. Come on, Windows, you can do it. There we go. Whew, this is massive. Stop screen.
I would imagine it's an hour-long transcript. Let's see how accurate it is.
Share screen. Here it is. Boom. So it's just the. Let me see if I can format it. It's
And
not
zoom in a bit.
Yeah. Control plus. Let me get rid of this. This. And let me make it a JSON file and try to parse it. There we go. So job name, account ID, status, results, transcript.
So this is a very different format than what we were looking at with the other SRT.
And I don't know what this is. Well, does it? Oh, it's building the whole kind of every word, giving you a confidence and start times. Oh,
So yeah, this looks like it's giving information about the segments that it created inside of that transcription. I didn't see segments up there though.
let's see. Items.
So that's a
Here's-
single transcript. This is interesting. Content hub. Go back. Okay. So that's just saying it's giving you its confidence because it's running some sort of ML job, right? That's how it's getting the speech to text, and it has the segments in there where it's saying from this time to that time. It is. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I see. So, well, comma is a segment. It's pretty sure
Actually-
it's 99% sure that this segment is a comma. That's
Let
interesting.
me do this. Let me just exit out of this quickly. And so yeah, it's the whole.
What would you use? Which one of these would you use? Would you use that transcript up at the top, or would you use this section? This is not the format that I expected, which is fine.
This
I
is
guess
what
it's
would
kind
give
of-
us. This is what
Mhm.
would give us the clip times, but maybe it uses the full transcript to figure out, right? So this is the build. This is what I was reading right now, and it goes and picks from the array the time from this to this. right? If we wanted to do this as a clip,
Yeah.
you kind of need both.
Do you?
Well, maybe not. I mean, it's a robot, so it can read the array faster than
It can,
we can
and
read.
it makes sense.
Faster than we can read this.
Yeah.
So the array is actually sorted in the order that
Mm-hmm.
all of these words are.
Mm-hmm.
So much. There you go.
I feel like we should do a part 2 on this one. This is an important one to do because this is something that we really need to provide meaningful content. You know, there's 54 people watching us right now, and that's, you know, super humbling that there's that many people thinking that what we're doing is interesting. But there's a lot more that, you know, there's a lot of value. There are a lot of little tiny clips inside of what we were just doing that is useful and would be useful, not necessarily out of context, but in a smaller context. So let's do this. I gotta go because I have to go pick my kid up from school. But let's put a pin in where we are. I think I might, before the next time we meet, do the item potency thing where we're not re-downloading that file every time.
Makes sense.
Almost that might be about it. Maybe you can convert that Lambda function into a step function workflow. There are several things that we need to do, because that event that you were showing, that transcribe shoots off when it's done, it only has
the status,
like failed or completed. It didn't have anything else. It was like literally nothing else. So what we would need to do is save off a record in maybe in a database. Maybe we use Memento and just put that in the cache and just let it expire automatically. And pull the data out when we get on the other side of that event, on the other side of the transcription event. We figure out the file, the SRT name, we load that, and then we start workshopping what we're going to say to Claude Sonnet. And then from there, we can generate the email. So we'll do that next time. Now, I'm not going to be here next time, but I think you're going to be online with Ben Pyle.
That's the current plan. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So if you guys want to continue, you can. And if you want to learn Rust with Ben, you can do that. I don't know how you could pull him away from that. But
we're figuring out what to do. Yeah. We're figuring out what to do and what our theme will be. We'll see. But yeah, definitely excited to do a part 2 on this one and kind of put everything together so we can actually get some clips going on. It's actually helpful for us as well. So,
and this can end up being like a really cool workflow in the sense that, like, you can have a step function workflow that turns the app runner service on because you're paying for uptime on it.
True.
You can turn it on. You can hit the well-known URL via an HTTP endpoint inside of the step function workflow, get everything kicked off, get triggered back asynchronously when it's done, and then just kind of continue. You can even do the AI pieces inside of the step function workflow natively. We don't even need that Lambda function.
Yeah. So we'll clean this up a bit for our part 2, and then we'll wrap it up for sure.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And then we'll make sure it's all open source already anyway, but we can talk about it some more and get that out there. But I think by the next time we meet, we'll be able to tie a bow on this and actually have something that works meaningfully. And then, we can take it a step further and say, plug into the RSS feed on YouTube whenever something new comes out. Just boom, let's trigger off that. That'd be cool too. So much cool things. Event-driven architecture is so cool. You said on our podcast episode today, you don't do event-driven architecture, but you're doing it all the time.
Not intentionally. Yeah. That's what I never view it that way, but I do it. Sounds weird.
Okay. So in the last minute, let's do, what was your favorite thing that you learned today?
So I've never used transcribe, and this gives you a lot of information, pretty granular. So I'm pretty impressed with it's giving you the start and end time for every single word. That's pretty incredible. And App Runner as a whole is something I'm gonna feel more comfortable on using. So simple. You made it look so simple, which leads me to think it is actually simple. So
Rude.
That's good.
Okay. It really isn't bad. I had a few bumps in the road trying to get it working, but that was just me trying to add a secret parameter in there, and I didn't know how to do that. And I was trying to do that on the initial deploy, and then I just couldn't get logs. But other than that, though, I didn't mess with containers at all. It's literally the source code, which is my jam.
It's definitely the service that comes to my mind when we need to process files, right? Because a file will usually bump you out of Lambda limits. And this is the step in between going full Fargate on an EC2 instance. App Runner is right there with easy to use, bigger containers to run stuff on. So I am going to verify again if it's in GovCloud or not. If it is, then I'm going to start using it immediately.
Great. So I think my favorite thing that I learned today was that /dev feature in Q. That was extremely cool. Extremely cool. It obviously made some mistakes, but I didn't do a very good job prompting it. And, beyond that, I gave it a multi-step workflow, and it did that. It did build those pieces as best as it could with the context that it had, and it made that.
And the fact that it just put it in your file, right? Just there with a diff, looking at like a pull request for your AI. That's kind of magical.
Yes. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be using that more. I'm really glad I re-authenticated before the session today so we can use it. So, everything that I was doing was using that, right? The type ahead was using Q. The conversation we were having over on the side was using Q. Definitely got legit.
Got a big boost from Code Whisperer, right? It's a lot more legit.
Yeah,
cool.
I think for the time being, I'm still going to continue using that and pairing that with ChatGPT and just kind of going back and forth. And I don't know why yet. I'm not sure why I feel like I need to. I feel like I get more straightforward answers out of ChatGPT when I say why. Do this, it does it, and I say why. Why is that the way that you would recommend? I haven't gotten the best answers. I guess the context window it feels so small inside of VS Code. It's in one little pane on the left-hand side, and it always cites its references, which is obviously a good thing. But finding the answer, it just gets bumped out of the screen for me, even when I'm not zoomed in for streaming.
Maybe that's an extension update that they do soon based on this feedback is, hey, you can pop it open and then tab just like you do Postman, right? And you just have imagine Postman in just the context menu there. It's not that cool, but you have the full window for it, and you can kind of do side by side. I have my code here, I have my chat here, or inline, right? I've used Copilot where you do Control I and it just opens the prompt right in your code, and maybe you can do it inline. I'm not sure Q has that, but that would be cool.
We'll see it evolve. It just went GA last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. So there's lots of fast follows, I'm sure, that are coming, and then lots of bigger features that are going to be coming down the line. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this project too. I think this is a really cool project, a project to see end to end and not abandoning after one session like we've done with our other things.
Yeah, I think this one will let the repo live. We'll kill the bucket names, but we'll let the repo live so you can deploy it yourself and transcribe your videos and get clips. That would be awesome.
It would be. Okay. Well, Andre, it's good to see you. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend. Until next time, we will play you off. Pirate salute like that.